To wind like a river. It comes and goes. Might a man on you say that hope is like a hurricane.
So we're back here again with the Justice League. If you watched my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, then you already know that I really liked that movie. The Justice League was so good, I had to see it twice. And then I had to go back and watch the original 2017 cut from Joss Whedon. I mean, I haven't seen it since 2017 on a random Friday night at 2 a.m. in the morning. It was kind of scary. Having seen the new cut twice, and so recently together, I feel like I know each scene by heart now. I mean, I can really just watch the movie back just by closing my eyes and just thinking about all the badassness. But I wanted to go back and I wanted to compare the new cut with the old one because I was curious. I know there's a lot of comparisons going on right now, but we're gonna do something slightly different. Instead of pointing out every single difference between both of the films, because there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. We're gonna actually see if the old cut is still watchable or if it's too painful, if it's actually like you're being cut as you're watching it. The new cut is incredibly amazing, and I don't say that lightly. So we're gonna give the old cut a rating in a non-biased way. We're gonna pretend as if we never saw the new one, and we're just gonna base our rating on the movie itself. Is it actually a good movie? And should you even bother watching it? For example, if you don't have 4 hours to spend to watch the newer one, can you just watch this one and still have a good time? So let's go ahead and find out. Sit back and relax and let's get into this. So as I touched on this lightly in my last video, Zack Snyder was unable to finish the film due to personal reasons, and those reasons were very understandable. Zack Snyder ended up dedicating the new cut of the movie to his daughter Autumn, which was a very beautiful tribute. So because Zack Snyder left the 2017 project, Joss Whedon was brought in to complete the film. Joss is a great director. He's created some of the Avengers films, the first one to be exact, and another one, but we're not going to talk too much about that one. So it makes a lot of sense that after going back watching the 2017 cut of Justice League, it did kind of feel like an Avengers movie, and more specifically like the first Avengers movie. The 2017 Justice League had more comedic moments, which isn't too bad. You know, everything has comedy moments, which is cool. And it had an overall lighter tone over the entire film. The opening scene with Superman was kind of hard to watch. I mean, he kind of looked like a cosplay character. The musical score behind the film was subdued. It was light. It didn't have the punch. It was kind of out of place at times. There was no build-up. There was nothing to enhance the scenes. The music just kind of fell flat. I mean, it's all great music, but it was just used not correctly. Specifically in the Aquaman scene, where we hear some out-of-place rock music as Aquaman enters the sea. I mean, the music itself is cool, but it just didn't fit the scene. In the Zack Snyder cut, there was a song about a king and a kingdom, and I don't know the name of that song specifically, but it worked very well with the scene and it made it epic. A lot of scenes that I loved in the new cut were almost painful to watch in the original cut, as the original cut had some unnecessary comedic effect. Some scenes were fun to watch, definitely. For example, when Barry or Flash drew glasses on a guy's face in prison, and that scene was actually pretty fun. It showed how fast he actually moves without all the slow-mo, and that was really impressive. It was a cool scene. Another favorite moment was when Aquaman was confessing his feelings about Wonder Woman and his life under the sea. Under the sea. It was funny, and it was also cool because he was actually sitting on top of the lasso of truth, which is why he was confessing so much. I mean, was it a scene that was needed in the film? No, but it would have been a good bonus deleted scene for a Blu-ray release. Another fun moment was at the end of the movie when Wonder Woman had the lasso of truth around some bad guys, and they were very helpful, it seemed, giving information about whatever heist or whatever they were doing. It was very funny to watch. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. The final battle scene was drastically different than the new cut. It appears to be completely rewritten for the new cut as everything is completely different. I mean, Cyborg's leg is pulled straight off in the original cut, and Superman is saving some civilians. I mean, he is in the midst of fighting the main villain, but he says, oh wait, let me go save a civilian. And I mean, of course they need to be saved, but it was just a little bit odd. And I think the reason the director decided to, Josh decided to play it like that was to kind of add a more human effect to the movie. I mean, you're dealing with all these superheroes with superpowers, and it's kind of hard to, you know, see how that translates into a real life world setting. And, you know, so you add civilians into the mix to see how they interact and how they deal with all this world ending type of stuff. And sure, I can see why he may want to do that, but this is a superhero movie fighting these super villains. It should be focused mainly on that. So I felt that was a little distracting. And, you know, the main villain himself gets destroyed by his own crew. I mean, they straight up just butchered the guy, and you know, and they did it very quickly when he lost his weapon. I mean, that weapon, he had that weapon the entire time, and they were just waiting for it to just freeze up and just blow up so then they could just go after him. That was kind of crazy. Barry's scene in the new cut was epic, with him running super fast, faster than the speed of light, to charge Cyborg. That was amazing and so impactful with the musical score. And you know, why was everything so red in the original cut? And after you've seen Black Superman, it's kind of hard to go back to the red and blue. I could go on and on, but let's talk about the film as a whole. Is this film watchable, or is it too painful now? The Zack Snyder cut is definitely the definitive version of the film. The entire film's tone for the new cut was dark, well-paced. Every character was explained and given room to breathe and showcase their talents and backstory. It gave you a reason to care for the characters. In the original cut, most of the characters had unnecessary lines, unnecessary comedic effects, and it just had a lighter tone that took away some of the seriousness that you would kind of have for the characters, or even the threat of the bad guys. I mean, were you really worried about the bad guys in the film? It's kind of hard to watch the original now, having seen the new one. Now granted, before the new cut, I did feel that there was something missing from the 2017 movie. I saw it and I was like, cool, you know, I saw it. But it wasn't something I felt like I need to go back and watch again anytime soon or tell friends to watch. So, I mean, this is no slight to Joss Whedon. I mean, he is a great director. I just feel like, you know, he did the best he could with the material he had. I appreciate some of you guys pointing out Whedon definitely did the original cut, not David Ayers, so I'm very glad about that, you know, point out that you guys made. Both are great directors, but I still think that this film was rushed. And taking away any bias from watching the new one, I would give this film a 6 out of 10. The film just feels flat in some places. The music did not help the plot. The writing and the screenplay fell flat in certain areas. For example, when Clark Kent was talking with Lois Lane in the fields, the dialogue wasn't that impressive. Having seen the new movie, it's amazing how much was cut out. The entire plot with Cyborg and the backstory of the Amazons and Atlanteans was cut out. There was no Lex Luthor, there was no Joker. But I really did enjoy the music. The music was amazing in the new one. I liked how each superhero had their own musical tone. Like Wonder Woman, she had her own theme from her own movies. Then you also had Man of Steel's theme from his movie. So I mean, you had each character had their own theme when they entered the scene, and it just enhanced everything. It's just amazing how Zack Snyder took this film and really just gave it a whole new look, a whole new breath of life, and it was a very, very good film to watch. Now, let's get down to it. Do you think the 2017 movie is watchable, or is it too painful now to watch? I would say that it is watchable in the sense if you're looking for an alternative, more comedic effect, just something quick with some comedy, I would definitely watch that movie. Not saying that the movie was, you know, put poorly together or whatever, but I just mean that it did have a lot of comedy in there, a lot of funny jokes, and more jokes than I would have liked, but the jokes were pretty funny. So, I mean, if you're looking for something like that, then definitely check out the 2017 movie. But if you're looking for the definitive version that has all the bells and whistles and all the extra cool fighting scenes and everything, definitely check out the new Zack Snyder cut. This is Zyga with SBG Soulbeats Gaming. Keep it here with SBG. We got a lot more content coming soon. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.
You say a word about this, you'll meet every prawn I know.
I honestly didn't hear anything after "we're all gonna die."